Are you looking for an athletic scholarship? You're in the right place. This is the Recruit Me Athletic Scholarship Podcast, the longest-running podcast on recruiting and athletic scholarships. We're here to help your family navigate the recruiting road all the way to an athletic scholarship. He's a recruiting expert and a dad of 2 college athletes. He has a wealth of experience to share. Here's Recruit Me CEO, Brent Hanks.
Welcome to episode 501 of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. The Athletic Scholarship Podcast celebrated its 500th weekly episode last week and is proud to be the world's longest-running athletic recruiting education podcast. Like the intro said, my name is Brent Hanks, and I'm the host of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast and the owner of Recruit Me, an athletic recruiting education business. I want to thank you for listening to the Athletic Scholarship Podcast today, and also thank those who are frequent listeners. Please like or follow the Athletic Scholarship Podcast on your favorite podcast app, and listen weekly to get 15 minutes that will change your athletic scholarship future. Also, I invite you to visit the recruit-me.com website for more free and inexpensive recruiting tools and resources from Recruit Me. Today is a review of last week's 500th episode, and it brings out 4 points and expands on those points that were brought up in the 500th episode. Point number 1 highlights how both John Fugler, the founder of Recruit Me, and I were both influenced by hearing a speaker about recruiting, and we acted upon their knowledge to help our sons get a right-fit college choice. Point number 2 is use the media of the day, but to also use the fundamentals, the basics, to get you off to a good start in recruiting. Point number 3 is, even with all the changes in college sports, using basics from even 20 years plus back is important. And point number 4 brings out how Recruit Me's goals are to help you, and to save you time, money, and anxiety, and to show you that you can find your right fit college. Let's get into the 4 points that will help you with your recruitment. Point number 1 from episode 500 of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. Kind of give us again a little background of how you got into Recruit Me to begin with.
Sure. It was like you, had sons that were athletes pursuing an athletic scholarship. And back then, this was 1999, I believe, when we started looking at this whole thing of athletic scholarships. Heard somebody come into the high school and speak to parents and athletes about athletic scholarships. He had a book that he had with him, and he taught from that book, and it was an educational experience for me. Well, my wife and I decided and other parents too, let's just try and see what we can do to get our kids an athletic scholarship. So we followed some of the principles in the book and that the speaker had told us about, and went through the process, stumbled through it, figured it out, and both of our twin sons landed fully paid educations at the school of their choice, and it was great. So it worked for us. Other families came to me afterwards with younger kids and said, "How did you do it?" Well, had all these documents, letters, and emails, not really any emails at the time, but it was all through the mail, player profile, questionnaires that we had, all the things that we had put together during this journey. I just started sending them out to parents that, here's what we did. Go ahead and try it.
Like John, I too heard a recruiting speaker that spoke at an Iowa Hawkeyes prospect camp as Parker, my older son, had just started to reach out to college baseball programs at the end of his summer before his junior year of high school. Along with some internet searching and some other resources, Parker and I developed a recruiting strategy to create some parameters, create a player profile, create an introductory email, and send those to a researched college school list. Both the Fugler family back in the late 1990s and our family in the 2016 timeframe were impacted by a recruiting speaker and someone that had a plan to sell and help student athletes and families on a recruiting journey. I found John Fugler and the Recruit Me website and its resources after Parker's recruiting was finished and after he had signed his national letter of intent to play for and attend Northwestern University. John's link to the speaker he heard carried him to eventually develop his Recruit Me program, and the speaker at Iowa that I heard led me to my wanting to help student athletes and families throughout their recruiting journeys, and then eventually led me to the Recruit Me program. Currently, the Recruit Me resources, the Athletic Scholarship Podcast, and me are here to help without you having to just happen to hear a speaker at an event. The basic tools you need for a formidable recruiting experience to find the right fit school for you in both your sport and the classroom are right here in the Athletic Scholarship Podcast and the recruit-me.com website. Not only will Recruit Me help guide you through the process, but it will help you to answer the questions of when to start, how to start, and what to do. Go now or after this episode to the recruit-me.com website. Point number 2 from the Athletic Scholarship Podcast, episode number 500. John said that he started the Athletic Scholarship Podcast to use the media of the day, and a podcast was a new tool to spread the Recruit Me athletic recruiting message. The podcast has endured since John's introduction of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast in 2015. I certainly wish that I had found the Athletic Scholarship Podcast back then. Again, I didn't find it until after Parker's recruiting was done in 2017. So I invite you to take advantage of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast, and here's what the Athletic Scholarship Podcast costs you. 15 minutes every week. Well, I guess you could actually invest a little more time by going back and listening to past episodes too. If you go to the Athletic Scholarship Podcast link on the recruit-me.com website, you can find episodes that are broken down into different categories. Categories that fit your needs and interests. Categories that cover each year of high school, interviews with parents, coaches, and athletes, the steps of recruiting, myths about athletic scholarships, building a college school list, recruiting resources, and more. Now, to come clean, Recruit Me is not a high technological system. Recruit Me has a website and a podcast, but it doesn't make a lot of social media suggestions or use an app, or just to let you know, the Recruit Me 3.0 athletic scholarship system isn't digitized and is still in a PDF form with a manual, workbook, and worksheets. The research tools Recruit Me talks about are on the internet, and they're for you to find and use, but are not under an umbrella for you to buy or pay for as a service. Recruit Me points you toward resources that are free or inexpensive, like the NCAA.org, the NAIA.org, or the NJCAA.org websites, and another like the Baseball Bluebook app as resources. Team or college conference websites are what Recruit Me encourages you to search out. Recruit Me and the Athletic Scholarship Podcast does feel AI and social media are tools to use, but not just to depend on to get you exposure. Social media should be used in your plan, and Recruit Me helps you to create your plan early and to work on your plan and to adjust it often. Just like just attending prospect camps and showcases or tournaments, hoping a coach sees you and contacts you is like spinning a roulette wheel. Or just posting videos on social media is a gamble too. But directing your postings to specific research colleges can increase your success and get you in front of coaches and colleges that you can play for. Point number 3 from episode 500 is that Recruit Me principles are timeless.
The principles, and we've talked about this, are really timeless from back in 1999 to here we are today in 2026. The principles are the same. It's just the application of those principles change over the years. Even as NCAA rules change, as recruiting changes, there's still some principles which are hard and fast, and you've been teaching those, and I think that's fantastic.
Recruit Me is not only the best starting point of recruiting, it is relevant through your journey and can even carry over as you enter college and as you might play in college and decide to transfer during your 4 or 5 years. Recruit Me's 7 steps to an athletic scholarship are fundamental, and fundamentals in all sports are essential at all levels, and were essential for all athletes past and now coming into the future. With all the aforementioned changes in college sports, the transfer portal, NIL, and roster and scholarship changes, you still need to be a player in your sport. But to play your sport in college, you don't have to be the best player in the country, your region, your state, your conference, or even your team. But you have to work on your skills, and to play at a junior college, the NAIA level, or the NCAA Division III or Division II level, or even a lower Division I level team, hard work and being the best player that you can be is important. Recruit Me's fundamental 7 steps are: Number 1, find the right schools to contact. Number 2, write a great introductory email. Number 3, create a player profile. Number 4, build your own recruiting questionnaire. Number 5, track your communications. Number 6, follow up with your college contacts. And number 7, make your right fit choice. The best 2 times to start these steps are, number 1, the first day of your freshman year of high school, and number 2, today. Step number 1 has 3 worksheets: the parameters worksheet, the college school list worksheet, and the college research worksheet. These worksheets may take up your freshman and sophomore years to do until you are ready to send your introductory email, your player profile, and your recruiting questionnaire. They help you decide to send them to the appropriate level college coaches. Use the Recruit Me fundamentals to get you set up for your own go time. And don't get behind and thus get into a panic and have a high anxiety and high expense experience. Recruit Me's goals are to save you time, money, and anxiety, and to get you to find your right fit college choice. From the interview in episode 500. I talked to so many people, and you probably did too, that were kind of in a panic their junior and senior year. And I think a lot of our basics that we use for Recruit Me as you start your freshman, sophomore year can really set them up to make the junior, senior year a little easier than what it would have been. Point number 4 from episode 500. Here's a replay of another part of the interview with John Fugler on episode 500. This point is about the goals of Recruit Me, and that just about any student athlete can pursue an opportunity to play their sport in college. What were some of your goals whenever you first started Recruit Me and the Athletic Scholarship Podcast?
I wanted to get the system out to as many people as possible. We wanted to, and I know you do too, want to make recruiting attainable, scholarships attainable for any athlete. And I believe that any athlete, any talented athlete, can have the opportunity to play and compete at the school of their choice. And it's got to be, as you determine what the school of choice is, there's those that are good fits. There are those that are the right fits, and that's the most important thing. And what I wanted to do is just to help families pursue that on their own. That was always our goal, to be able to not have to rely on expensive services, consultants, coaches, that type of thing, but to be able to take these principles and apply it on their own, because what it comes down to is the heart of the athlete, the desire of the athlete, the initiative that the athlete takes. And that's a family affair. So as families come together to do this, that speaks loudly to coaches. It still does. So I want to make this attainable. I want to make it simple. I want it to be step by step that anyone could follow. And the comments and stories that I got back, that you're continuing to get back as you do that, affirm it. That you as a parent, you as an athlete can handle this together. And if you have to do it on your own, maybe your parents aren't that much involved, then go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. Parents, if your athlete's not involved, your athlete needs to get involved. You can't do it for them. But this is something that's attainable. It's step by step. And our goal all the way through, my friend Ron Johnston and I were the ones that spearheaded this and walked it through and wrote the material, taught the material, packaged it together for families so it's understandable. We wanted to make it work for any family.
Recruit Me originally, and then still today, wants to give you the tools to start your recruitment and the tools to use throughout your recruiting journey. Tools that are relevant, easy to use, inexpensive, and effective. Recruit Me wants the student athlete and their family to understand that there is, most likely, a level of play that will fit you. Learning about programs in the JUCO level, the NAIA level, and the 3 NCAA levels is very important, and often it is skipped by potential student athletes. Having a D1 or bust mentality may keep you from finding your right fit. Also, the if I play well, college coaches will just find me attitude is rebuked by Recruit Me, and Recruit Me sets the student athlete on a path to recruit colleges to recruit them. The student athlete must be the main participant in their recruiting plan, and not to depend only on a parent or a coach to do all the work. A student athlete must build a team of the student athlete, a parent or parents or guardian, coaches, teachers, administrators, or other relatives and or other athletes that will help too. Recruit Me encourages the student athlete to find fits at lower levels of play. Do that first and then work their way up to the higher levels as their game improves and as he or she matures. Remember, there are levels within each level. Junior colleges have 3 divisions, and each level, junior college, NAIA, Division III, Division II, and Division I, have programs that are elite. They are elite year in and year out. And then there are mid-majors, and then there are programs that don't compete for conference or national championships very often. The Recruit Me Parameters worksheet will help you to direct yourself to the right levels. Then your player profile will help you to send your information to the right schools. Thank you for listening to episode 501 of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. Join me next week for another 15 minutes that will change your athletic scholarship future. And don't forget to check out the recruit-me.com website and to get the Recruit Me 3.0 Athletic Scholarship System for only $39.